All right, it's your boy back again. You know what? Fuck the normal intro. Man, look, I said Phoenix was gonna win that game. Um, I didn't expect them to get punished like this though. Uh, I saw a world where this could have happened, but I didn't think they were gonna come out there and lay an egg like that. Um, it was close and contested in the first quarter. It wasn't an issue. The problem is the bench unit, and I'm gonna be upfront. Like the bench unit is garbagier, and by garbagier I mean garbage. It is complete garbagier. Like unless the Pels start off with like a 20-point advantage, they're going to cough up the lead every fucking time. You know, outside of Josh Hart, there's nobody else playing good on the bench. So there's no rim protection after Steven Adams. There's no suitable true backups for Zion, Bi, Lonzo, and I mean, there's nothing they can do. And then let's take this a step further. Bledsoe clearly doesn't fit in the starting lineup, but hey, you know what? You know what people are saying? Hey, why don't we put Josh Hart or JJ into the starting lineup? Even so, some people say let's put Nah in the starting lineup. Wait a minute, who said that? This guy. See, it only took 4 games for everybody to start coming around to what I was saying. Only took 4. It really just only took 4. But hey, that's cool. You know, I mean, Lonzo was killing him in the first quarter. But after that, he was just like, fuck it. He went cold. I think at that point, not just him, because the only one who had a semi decent game was like Zion. Bi and Lonzo kind of was just like, fuck it after that. You know, like every time you go to the bench, the league gets coughed up. And I know people are talking about, well, it seems like you're going to have to stagger Lonzo and Brandon Ingram. Well, Lonzo is the third, like he's taking the third most shots on the team this year. So that may be the thing to do. But my thing is, okay, they don't change. Like, okay, ultimately, here's the thing. In a starting lineup, on the 3 point line, you can ignore Bledsoe. All right, so that means the paint is packed between Zion and Steven Adams, plus Bledsoe being out there. So that means that they can leak off of Bledsoe because they're not worried about him. That means if you attack the basket, it's much harder. Okay, they don't have to respect Lonzo. They don't have to respect Bi shooting threes. Okay, so now what? You know, it's making it harder as the game goes on. Mid range is going to be a little bit more contested. Like it doesn't give the players the space they need to operate. You put Josh Hart or JJ in, it would alleviate that to some degree. Plus, it'll make you a little bit better defensively. Lonzo did his job on Devin Booker. You know, I think he had Devin Booker held to like 3 points by halftime. Like again, like he Lonzo showed up defensively. He even showed up in the first quarter like he was hooping. But I think after that, when he went to the bench and they put in all the bench guys and stuff, it was just kind of like, they were so far behind already. It's like you got to try to play catch up, and you can't play your normal game. It's kind of like in football, if you go down 21-28 zip, like they stop running the ball and they start passing. That's basically what happened. It's like, okay, time to shoot only threes, you know. And it's not just him, it's the entire team. But They were terrible. And I think for the end of the night, Chris Paul and Devin Booker had like 14 or 17 points, like combined. Like they won shit. They did their job defensively on them. It's just everything else. You know, the bench doesn't provide any resistance. So it begs the question: what are you gonna do, Griff? What are you gonna fucking do? Because here's your problem. You really don't have the money to sign anybody because you gave Steven Adams that contract. So it's like, in order to get the players you need, you're gonna have to give up somebody, and you already know you're not touching Brandon Ingram and Zion. So who's your next best target? Because you're not gonna give up Steven Adams. So you're gonna have to give up Lonzo and or Josh Hart to get off of a Bledsoe contract. Because I doubt somebody wants Bledsoe right now. We'll see. Maybe you could trade Bledsoe to the Clippers. Maybe they want to get off of him and maybe get uh, Lou Williams or Patrick Beverly or something. I doubt it, but it's just like, okay, if you want to get a better part, you're gonna have to toss Lonzo in the deal, or you're gonna have to toss Josh Hart in the deal. You're gonna have to lose one of them to have the money and the space you need to get the support that you need, which means you're gonna end up moving Bi to full-time point guard. Okay. Obviously they don't. The Pels' pace is way too slow in the half court. They're not as dynamic offensively as they were under Gentry, and there's so many other issues here. Lonzo isn't Lonzo Ball. He is playing shooting guard right now. He's off ball. They've made sure, like Stan has made sure Bi touches the ball. He is that motherfucker for this team. He's touching the ball. Like I told you, Lonzo ain't finna get his stats on this team this year because of the way they play. He's not. He is the two guard. So his job is to do off ball role stuff. He's basically in a Luke Walton situation from 2 years ago with Bi acting as LeBron, and that's what it is. So an offense is not going to run through Lonzo. Even if it did run through Lonzo, the offense will be a little bit more dynamic. But the problem is, what happens when the bench comes in? That's the problem. Like, it don't matter how good the start. See, this even let me just be real. Even if the starters do their job, which they do more often than not, it does not matter when the bench is going to give up the lead. Really, what you need to do is you need to get off of Bledsoe, because he's not a bad player, but you need to get off Bledsoe, and you need to try to get something stable on the bench. You need another big man. You need some shooting, like something. You need something, but you ultimately would need to get off Bledsoe, because you could just slide Josh Hart or JJ there, and you got your shooting in the starting lineup. You got your spacing, but it's like you're gonna need the bench. Like I said, I'm okay with having Nall be point guard or shoot guard off the bench. Like, hell, I would be okay. I think the team may even perform better if you put Bledsoe off the bench and just had like Bledsoe Nall or Bledsoe JJ or Bledsoe Josh Hart. Um, I would be okay with that. The problem ultimately is going to be wings and wind protection. Rim protection. It's You're not going to get what you need. See, the Pels are the Pels are in such a fucked up place. The gap between the guys they have in and the guys coming off the bench is huge. It is huge. It's not even remotely close. Like I told you guys, like a couple videos ago, Lonzo is the best guard on the team. Yes, that includes JJ, Josh Hart, Bledsoe, no, everybody else. He is the best guard on the team. It's not even close. It's not even a question. He's the best guard on the team. So ultimately, here's okay. Look at it this way: Lonzo is your quote unquote starting point guard, but does he do point guard? Is he playing a point guard role? No. Bi is the point guard on the floor. So it begs the question to ask: It's like, okay, who do you move to get better? If you need rim protection and you need to like get a rim protector, which is probably the most pressing issue after, like, to me it's like, okay, let's see, let's go find someone, a vet minimum, who needs to be, who, Tyson Chandler, somebody who needs a job, Joe King Noah, something, go, like, that'd be my thing. It's like, okay, let's go find someone vet minimum, put him on the team. But okay, let's just say you can't. All right, you know then it's like, what's your asset? It's Lonzo Ball. Like, ultimately, like, you could say Bledsoe, but I doubt people want Bledsoe, and I think there's a trade restriction. I don't think you could trade Bledsoe immediately since he just got to the team. I think you got to wait a while before you could trade him. I'm not sure. I'm not the guy to ask for that stuff, but I mean, I guess you could argue Josh Hart is a trade asset, but like, damn, if you get rid of Josh Hart, you got shit off the bench. No matter what you bring, you still gonna be in the same fucking situation. Like, the only player that you could trade to get value right now like that is Lonzo Ball. Now there may be a team you could trade Steven Adams to, and maybe you could get two younger, but like around the same level or slightly below level players, maybe two bench players like that. But other than that, shit, there's nothing there. Like, JJ honestly has not been hitting his threes. Neither has Lonzo this year. He'll start off good. He'll hit that first one, but after that, it's like, ugh. But JJ ain't been hitting shit from three. So really, when JJ ain't hitting I mean, he still has value because of his career. So people are not going to leave him open for fear of what he can do. So he's going to provide space by existing on the court. Period. All right. So to me, it's like, I would start JJ. I would start JJ. I would leave Josh Hart on the bench, but then you got Bledsoe versus Null, and it's like, okay. But here's the other problem, right? What is the purpose of this season? Is this to get it to the playoffs, or is it to develop the guys? Like, ultimately, that's what's going to get lost in this. If it's just to develop the guys, it kind of don't matter if they're winning or losing. It's just them getting the games. But if that's the case, you need to play now. You need to be playing Kira. You need to be playing Hayes, even if they suck. You know, but if that's not the case, you actually trying to compete. Hey, fuck them. Like, man, you might need to just say, look, I'll give you now, Hayes, fucking Melly, just give me like a forward or two, and we'll just play an 8-man rotation with Bled, JJ, Josh Hart, or something. I mean, something like, we'll figure that part out. You hell, if honestly, you might be like, I'll trade Janelle, Bledsoe, and Hayes. Give me like two wings. And you'd be like, okay, cool, and you go from there. You pull Lonzo out first. Lonzo run the bench unit. He'll get run as a starter, and he'll come out at like 6 minutes. Let Bi continue to run point guard in those duties, and Lonzo comes in and run point guard for the second unit, something like that. But I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's like, what is this team supposed to be trying to do? Okay, if they're trying to win games, like, you really can't go too deep into your bench anyway, right? But you're gonna tire out your guys. Your guys aren't in shape enough. They're not prepared to play 36 minutes a night. There's injury concerns because of the short preseason and quick turnaround. Like there's something like hell. Josh just got hurt. Is out 3 to 5 weeks. You know, like this is a serious concern. You know, again, if your goal is to develop these guys, now Kira and Hayes have to be playing more minutes. Period. No matter how bad they are, they have to play more minutes. But they're not. Hell no, just got played last night. Kira just got played because they got blown out. So it's like, what in the entire fuck is the purpose of this shit? So again, this ass whooping is only gonna reinforce, you know, some of the stuff I've been saying. Now, there's people who are furious with Stan Van Gundy. I told you all, let's see how people act when they lose a game due to their defense, which is the whole point of what he coaches. Now people are oh, what's the problem, Stan, blah 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 blah. See, now people want Alvin Gentry back. Because even if they didn't play defense, at least they could score. I'm gonna tell you right now, even with Gentry, Gentry may get the offense to look and flow a little bit better, but he's not winning, or he's not gonna get the 3 point shooting he had last year because he lost all of those guys. Frank Jackson and Etwan Moore, for all intents and purposes, actually were really good shooting the ball last year, as far as this team is concerned. Even with now coming off the bench, and with Drew, like they were actually you had that's three capable shooters you lost. Even Gentry isn't going to get this offense to shoot like it did last year. It is still going to be a personnel issue. So, what's next? Okay. Again, here's this is just one game, so you don't want to overreact to it. And like I said, I'm giving them 15 to 20 games. That's only game four. I'm still being patient. But at the same time, you got to acknowledge or admit to something. Some things are becoming clear. Lonzo Ball is not going to be effective in this role for this team. BI can be effective, but they're not going to win with the weapons around BI like that if you're going to run him because he requires different stuff than Lonzo. So there's that piece, plus the bench component, plus the Bledsoe issue. I ain't gonna get into Zion's. Okay, fuck. Zion's defense is terrible. His defense is terrible. Okay, he's giving up points way too easily. Uh, he's another issue, but you can't not play him. He's the number one pick, right? His like for all he does on offense, it's you can only do so much. Ultimately, Stan would like to play four out, but he can't space the floor because Zion can't shoot and Adams can't shoot. So really, he's playing. He's got to play three out, but he can't play three out because Bledsoe can't shoot, but they're trying anyway. So it's like you can't even play three out, which really ain't even a thing. But so you got Lonzo and Bi, and so that's all you got. You know, the team roster wise is just a problem. I said it last year. I said it this year, and Griff will be forced to make a move sooner rather than later. Uh, Let me also add this: JJ is an asset. They may look to move JJ as well. JJ Bled, JJ Lonzo, Lonzo Josh Hart. Like, I expect to hear Lonzo's name floated because a lot of teams are going to like Lonzo. The defense he showed on Devin Booker, you got to be looking at that as if you're a championship team like the Clippers and saying, okay, or a bunch of other teams could definitely use Lonzo to quarterback and run their offense. And that mid range is a sticking point. That shit's gonna be here to stay for his career. Um, I mean, that's all I really got. The Pels got they I don't know a better way to say it. They got raped. They got raped last night. So it's your boy. I hope I don't offend anybody with that, but I'm out of here. Peace.